Hi guys, welcome back to this channel. In this video, I'm going to share to you 3 ways to reduce the possibility of gearbox cracking in the M4 AG. You can do this to any other platform, but I think it is limited. And before I go to this video, you can give a like or dislike if you like it or if you don't like it, and also give you can give any question in the comment section. First, I'm going to start with the first method, which is the most obvious one, which is to use a weaker rate spring. By using a weaker rate spring, you can actually reduce the stresses around the gearbox so that it can last longer than if you use a heavy rate spring. But the problem is not all airsofters can do this method. For example, like the DSG players, they still need to use a higher rate spring. For example, like the M150, M160, and so on. That's why I still have two other alternatives for this case. You need to remember that if you use a lower rate spring, make sure that you don't use a very high torque motor paired with the 11.1 volt because it can do double spin. And double spin is not good. Also, you can increase the FPS of your airsoft by using a longer inner barrel, but make sure that you have the right cylinder volume for that. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next method, which is radius cut. First, I'm going to show you a gearbox with no radius cut. As you can see, these edges are sharp. So the idea of radius cut is to make the edges rounded. We can actually make the stress distributed evenly around the gearbox. And here is the example of a reduced edges. So the stresses around this area will be distributed evenly. And you can use a rotary chamber in this case. And also you can do this method to any other gearbox. For example, like the thre gearbox. Here is the thre gearbox. It is strong enough actually, but you can still do this method. Make sure that you don't cut too much of the gearbox material. And another thing to consider is the gearbox material is also important, the strength of the material. And another thing to note that if you do this radius cut, it doesn't mean that it will hold all of the high rate spring. For example, like the M150, M160, it still has the possibility of cracking, but of course the possibility is much smaller than if you don't do the radius cut. So this method is quite universal. You can do this to any other gearbox version, V2, V3, V7, V6. If you want to use an extreme rate of spring, probably this is the strongest solution for you, which is the M-block system. But the problem with the M-block system is that you cannot use it with the rotary chamber. You need the dial chamber, the version 2 gearbox. And I will explain to you how this works. So the energy transferred from the gearbox through the M-block and next to the upper receiver. So make sure that you have a solid upper receiver. Also, make sure that you tighten these screws when you install the M-block. By using this M-block, you can use a higher rate of spring, and I believe this is stronger than the radius method. But one interesting thing is that you can do both methods in your AG if you're using a dial M4 chamber. Also, this method is, I think, this is very good for DSG players that use a super heavy rate of spring. So that's all the three methods that I can share to you to reduce the possibility of gearbox cracking in your Airsoft AG. Hopefully, by watching this video, you can choose the right method to apply in your AG because not everyone uses the M4. Okay guys, I think that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.